It's Charlotte Talks on listener-funded 90.7 WFAE and 90.3 WFHE. I'm Mike Collins. We're talking about domestic violence. Kit Gruelle is also a survivor. She has worked with California Post, that state's effort to train law enforcement officers to deal with domestic violence, and she is known nationally as an advocate and a community educator on this topic. And you brought a stack of files here.
These are all restraining orders from 1 year in North Carolina. Now, these are not all the restraining orders that were issued. There's probably 45 or 50 orders here, and every single one of the women who went to obtain these orders of protection was murdered in precisely the ways that they said they were going to be. So, you know, I sometimes refer to restraining orders as the last will and testament because, you know, battered women are the experts in what's happening in their relationship, and we need society. We need to treat them like the experts that they are. When she says he's going to kill me, or he's going to kill my family, or he's going to kill my cousin if he can't get to me, we have got to step on the brakes and slow down and take that whole thing seriously. And then when there's a restraining order violation, our judicial officials have to understand that he is showing contempt for the court system. And he truly is a risk to her and to the community at large.
If you're not being hit, if you're not being threatened with a knife or some kind of a weapon, if it's just words, if it's intimidation, if it is belittling, how do you recognize it? How do others recognize it? How do you then get others to help you stop it?
When I do the hostage negotiations class, this is one of the things that I bring up with the negotiators. My late husband was a freak about food intake. He was trying to gain muscle weight, so he wanted a lot of protein calories. And so every night before he went out, he wanted a bowl of ice cream. And on the ice cream, he wanted peanuts because peanuts are so high in protein. So when I went to the grocery store, I had to buy salted peanuts, put them in a colander, rinse them off and pat them dry, and put the rinsed off peanuts on the ice cream. And while he was eating his ice cream, if he came across salt on the peanuts, he would beat me up because he said I didn't do a good enough job washing the peanuts. So when I go out and do the negotiations class, I say to these cops, what happens when you show up on the scene and you get her out there in the back of the patrol car and she's saying to you over and over and over again, I should have done a better job washing the peanuts. When women say stuff like that, it's not because they're crazy, it's because of the way they're really living. Our criminal justice system requires that she be beaten enough to satisfy the system. And by the time it gets to that point, she's already been so worn down psychologically and physically and emotionally. That's when it's really time for advocates to really step up and begin to treat her like she has some value, because she's been told now systemically that she doesn't. You know, the courts have told her that she doesn't have value, and her partners told her that she doesn't have value. Perhaps family and friends have done that through their actions with her. And all of that strips away from her. So I think another thing that advocates do is, instead of stripping away, we try to build back up.